Alright guys, just to show you the bait I'm using. I always catch my own bait, especially at the Skyway or any bridge, any pier. Usually there's going to be bait there if there's current. So what I'm catching are these. They're greenbacks. And, you know, they vary in sizes. Usually for Spanish mackerel, you want to use the smaller ones, you know, around like 3 inches. You can use bigger ones, but you're just going to catch more fish with the smaller baits. For snapper, what I'll do is I cut these guys up into little chunks, you know, about the size of the end of your thumb. That makes them nice, you know, bite-sized chunk. And what I'm using to catch them with is my Sabiki rod here. This is an actual Sabiki rod, where it's a hollow tube all the way to the end. Your line comes out, and then you have the Sabikis here on the Sabiki rig. I use a size 8 Sabiki rig. You can get them pretty much anywhere. I usually get them at Walmart. I think they're like $1.20. And, you know, one should last you a couple trips at least. Usually I buy a couple just to have this backups because, you know, sometimes like a mackerel will cut it off, or you'll get snagged on something and lose it. So, you know, for $1.20, buy 5 and you'll probably be good for the year. Right now the bait is not on the surface, so I mean the water is super hot, so sometimes that's just how it is. Can't tell if I have a bait here or not. I think I do. Yeah. And just like that. So I do also use a small de-hooker. You can also buy those at Walmart or anywhere for just a couple bucks. If you're trying to catch bait en masse, which, you know, usually you are, the de-hooker, I don't have one on me, but the de-hooker is a small blue-handled device with it's about, you know, 8 to 10 inches long. It just makes it easier to de-hook the baits, because generally, like if you're keeping these in a bait bucket, you do not want to be touching them or handling them as little as possible. The more you touch them, you know, get the slime off their skin. It kills them a lot quicker. And then also, you want to keep your bait aerated very well. I just use a bubbler. You know, I use a 5-gallon bucket from Lee Fisher International, which is you know, mostly a commercial fishing. Oh, hang on. It's a commercial fishing supplier here in Tampa, but they do have a retail side with Tampa Bay Fishing Outfitters. Great place to shop, local place, you know, not any more expensive than anywhere else, so I shop there. But aerate your bait really well. Try to keep them cool, so try to keep them in the shade, and then also change out the water at least once an hour. It's a little bit more work, but it'll keep your bait alive. It'll keep you from having to catch bait all day. You can just catch bait a lot at once, and then maybe have to catch bait one more time, and you'll be good for the day. So yeah guys, Sabiki rig, size 8, and that's all you need. Let's see if we can get another one. Another thing too, guys, you want to be using the rig on the upcurrent side of wherever you're trying to catch bait. So for instance, we have an, oh, here we go. So just like that. So for instance, we have an incoming tide this morning. So the water is coming into the pier. So you want to be casting out and jigging it back towards you. You do not want to be on the down current side because there's going to be little or no bait there. All the bait, even if you can't see it, is going to be on the up current side. Now, as the tide slows down, the bait kind of, moves around and is not really that active feeding. The most active feeding is when the current is moving faster into the pier. They get like all lined up, whether they're on the bottom or the middle or the top, and that's when you really want to target them. Usually that's when you actually see them feeding on the surface, or here, the water is super hot, so they're down a little bit further, but they're obviously actively feeding. Earlier, just a couple hours ago, they really weren't biting at all. So, even the bait fish bite like the fish you're trying to go after. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, size 8 Sabiki rig, catch bait all day, and you'll have all you need. You don't have to go out and buy frozen bait. Just a $1.20 rig with a little, 1 ounce sinker for, you buy a pack for a dollar or two, and you're good for all day. So that's a tip, guys. I'll see you out there.